Well, good evening, you gorgeous lot. It's Thursday, it's 9 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in. Frankie McAwaren's in the house. Jesus Jones, Matty Everard, he's asking where Lardy is. Lardy's having a few sangrias, I do believe, in London this evening. He's on a wine tasting evening and he said he won't be spitting it out. I don't know what that means. But yes, I'm going to be bringing some stuff tonight, ladies and gentlemen. How to keep warm in the winter. Some great results we've had in a Crown Court today. We've had a fucking marvellous result in a Crown Court today. The same court that the rusty rocket himself, the ex-BBC presenter Alex Belfield, found himself sentenced to a very heavy prison sentence not too long ago. So in the same court that Belfield was sent down, we've had a fabulous result today. And I'm going to be giving you the court transcript on that case, and you might want to get some pens and papers. I'm going to be bringing you some information also, ladies and gentlemen, how you can go to the VAT office and all these tax collectors and get all your money back. Oh yes, I know so many of you are excited. Anyway, keep yourself warm this winter, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be bringing you the Chinese diesel heaters. There's the Chinese diesel heaters. They're fabulous. They're as cheap as chips, and if you're very economical with how you use them, it can keep you warm and it can beat you feeling the crunch of this energy crisis. But it's beautiful to see you all and to see you nice. I'm going to start off with some very sad news, ladies and gentlemen. I am indeed. I don't know whether you can see my screen share. I do believe you can. Sadly, this week we lost an ex-Royal Naval man and a friend of mine. I didn't know him overly well, but I knew him enough to know that he was a really good soul. And I've got some bad news that Shane Pugwash, Captain Pugwash, passed away. I don't know what's the circumstances around his passing are, but it's very sad news. So Shane, I'll see you in heaven, brother, when we get there. You sound like Martin Lewis, the money man on the TV. Nice to see you, Matty Everard, as always, gorgeous. It is beautiful to see you. Jogging on the spot's quite good, says Dave Swift. Yes, you need to nowadays. You know, if you phone up your energy company, you know, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to send you, say, put some thermal linings on. But they're dinghy divers that are coming into the country, ladies and gentlemen. There's auditors all around this country now going and filming Holiday Inn. Now, you can't get checked in at the Holiday Inn unless you're coming in on a dinghy. Now, I lost a friend of mine a few years ago, John Rhodes, very handsome man, and he went out on his motorbike and sadly never come home up in Newcastle, around that area. He hit a big post and he never pulled through, God bless him. But his daughter has just been to a hotel today and thrown cash at them across the counter, and they've refused to accept cash, and they found themselves having to use their credit cards, ladies and gentlemen. You see where all this is going. Now, of course, if you want free holiday accommodation and you want a free room in a Holiday Inn or some flashy hotel around the country, you've just got to pop across to Calais and pop back on a dinghy. Yes, you've got to come off on the shoreline with a David Dickinson suntan and a little jerry can of fuel and say, oh my God, I've made it to Blighty. Yes, I have. Thank God. And get down and kiss the Dover cliffs. Yes, and you can pop straight to a Holiday Inn where you're going to get free food, free cigarettes and everything. I'm not bitter. I'm not against the immigration. Kind of, it is what it is, I guess, but it's not fair. Because we've got pensioners in this country that won't put their boilers on, that are sat there tonight with icicles on their testicles and on their windscreens and on their TV sets, whilst all these others that are coming into this country are getting it all for nothing. By the way, if you come into the country on a dinghy, ladies and gentlemen, yes, one of these dinghies that come across the channel, what a god-awful time of year to be coming across the channel on a dinghy. But what happens with these energy companies is they send someone round in a van, you know, these big vans, they fly around. They do. And what they do, they turn up with these smart meters for dumb people. Now, there's a big article today, ladies and gentlemen, in the newspaper as well. I think it was the Telegraph or the Daily Times was saying that this country is going to be plunged into darkness through smart meters, because when people finally can't pay that final top-up credit or their payment cards over there on their online services, then they're going to find themselves sitting in the dark, which is holy. We've got some good information going to be coming for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned, grab some popcorn and rip the knob off. We're going to be bringing you some stuff. So Shane Craig, my poor friend, Captain Pugwash, wherever you are, bruv, wherever you are in this beautiful universe, listen, mate, from me to you, thanks for your service, thanks for being a decent, and we'll all see you soon again one day. Keep this to yourself. There's a big thing called a sheep. You feed it and it grows wool. You cut it off and it fucking grows back. You can make thing called jumpers. Yes, but David, we don't have to live like that. We shouldn't have to live like that, should we? I see today, he says here, Matty Everard, a dinghy capsized, was on course for England territory. I see it in the news today. Maybe the Greeks and the Australians have been over shooting them up in the channel. I don't know. But look, we got energy companies turning people off, pensioners off, young people with babies, they're being turned off because they can't afford to pay. But if you come over on a dinghy, you get it all for nothing. And they just come around and put these little cards in your meter and they say, help yourself, have as much as you like. Gas and electric is all free, you know. Well, that's not a fair society, is it? That's not the beautiful, beautiful country that I thought this great land once was. So anyway, let's have a quick look here. This is my mate Shane, that's sadly no longer with us. He served his time in the Royal Navy, much of his time. If you wish for peace, prepare for war. That's Shane. He's bless his heart. Bless you, Shane, wherever you are, darling. God bless you. God bless your soul. God bless your cotton socks. Aye, bless his little heart. Anyway, yes, Swifty's up to his normal self tonight, as you can tell. Always, Swifty's very much like Ron Seal. You get exactly what it says on the tin. That's exactly what you get with Dave Swift, ladies and gentlemen. If he's got any electrical deals, I'm pretty sure he's going to put it up in the comments. He got a shop down at Worthing. Yes, there's people living in Worthing. I know it's quite hard to believe, isn't it, that people would actually live in Worthing, but they do. I don't know whether they're mostly blue rinsers. Obviously, Swift is not part of that club. And he went up to London this week and had some pie mash without telling me. Yes, you saucy dog. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful. So yes, he does sells all electrical goods, ladies. If you want your plugins, yes, you know the things. Or yes, he might even sell some of them. I'm not too sure. We're doing White Monday. He's doing Black Friday. Black Friday's doing White Monday. White Monday he's doing. Yes, we're doing White Monday. Well, that's going to be lovely. Look, he's putting his wares out. His ladies' stall out. His stalls out. It's for everyone to see. Chrissy Morris, hello, gorgeous. Nice to see you. Anyway, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move into some energy, because I know many of you are starting to think, oh, I don't know if I can turn my boiler on. Oh, so what we're going to do, we're going to talk about getting a bit self-sufficient. All right. Now, here's something I've purchased. All right. Hopefully you can still see this on my screen. Oh, I don't think you can see this screen. No. Anyway, having a look at these, I've bought myself one of these things. Okay. Now this is a 5 kilowatt Chinese. You get a free chow mein and a sweet and sour sauce with this when it comes in the post, but you have to put it in the microwave and warm it up. This is a 2 kilowatt by 5 kilowatt Chinese diesel heater. Now, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, these things are as cheap to chips to run, because what you do is you find your local garage that sells red diesel or kerosene. Kerosene a pound a litre at the moment. And if you use this thing very sparingly, you can run these for about 10 pence an hour. 10 pence an hour. And they blow so much warm air around your house and up your ass, you wouldn't know what to do with it. So if you want to beat the credit crunch crisis, if you want to disconnect from your gas, and you can find other means of doing whatever you want, but you need to stay warm, then these are a fabulous thing. What I do suggest though is for health and safety reasons, if you do buy one of these, they go through a warming up process and they go through a cooling down process. So it's always best to link them up with a 12-volt battery, which you can put a charger to that, so the battery is always in tip-top condition. So if ever you have a power cut, at least when the battery starts running low, these heaters realize that fact, and then they just go through a shutdown process and cool down, because you can get 240 to 12-volt transformers, but if you have a power cut, there'd be no power going to this device, and if it's firing in full mode and it's red hot, you could have a few fucking problems, and we don't want none of that, ladies and gentlemen. We don't. So always link them up. My advice would be to link them up through a 12-volt battery. But yes, these are very reasonable to run, and they get so hot. The heat, I've just put one in my office, strangely enough, and I've got another one coming in the post because it's so fabulous, and hopefully it should be in the next day or two. But this is a good way of you taking back control of your own life. Yes, all right, you're going out and buying a bit of diesel and kerosene, but we've all got to stay warm. But we know these energy companies are basically just running amok with us, really. And I personally think that they're laughing at us. I really do. But we are such a double standard country. Anyway, moving on. A beautiful court case. I did mention just a minute ago about the court case in, I think, did I just say Manchester, where Alex Belfield, the ex-BBC presenter that used to knock about with Jimmy Savile, now then, quite a few years ago. Quite a good entertainer, actually, Alex Belfield. He was so cocksure of himself the other week, he got a dildo and went into court, and he come unstuck. Yes, he did. And they sentenced him to prison because he was stalking Jeremy Vine's child online, which, as you know, is not a very nice thing to do. But he was so confident that justice would be served. Well, it was served. He's in fucking prison. But the point is this: we've had a fabulous result in the last couple of days with a gentleman that's gone into court. I'm not going to give you the case and what it's surrounding and what it's in, but I'm going to talk to you about the transcript. So grab a pen and paper and get ready to write this down. I'm going to do it very slowly. It's going to be like listening to a Janet and John book. Yes, it is. Janet and John for politicians. This is what we're going to do. So anyway, grab yourself a pen and paper, and we're going to get stuck right into that in a second. So, and you can follow this process if you ever find yourself in a courtroom for whatever it is, council tax sniffing knickers somewhere in local Lillicoes or in your Poundland. I know what you guys get up to sometimes, but if you ever find yourself in court, you can take these transcripts around, you can start putting them into your life, and you can start implementing that. And this has happened in this court that Belfield has just been sent to prison. So I'm going to give you that transcript very swiftly. I'm also going to be giving you some beautiful information tonight about your energy companies and how you can fit your own meters, because it's enshrined, ladies and gentlemen, it's enshrined in their own law that you can fit your own meters, providing that they're safe. We've had a fabulous woman this week battle off a bailiff, and she's at TikTok videos, and these videos that she does on TikTok, they go flying around the world. She's had about 2 million views on one warrant officer that popped up, and her name is Lisa T. Roof. You'll find her on Facebook, and you'll find her on TikTok. And she was interviewed earlier on in the week by Laura Nina, nonetheless, the beautiful Laura Nina. And it was a fabulous interview. But what she's saying is these energy companies come, "Oh, we come, it's a safety issue, it's a safety issue." And the police then jump in, don't they? They jump in bed with them and they say, "Oh, it's a safety issue." All the courts issue the thing. Right, okay, no problem. Call the National Grid. Get the National Grid in to come and check it, because the National Grid are the ones that supply the power to your house. They're funded by central government. Yes, for all your gas and electric, they're all funded, because otherwise it wouldn't really work. So central government, through VAT, through taxation, fund the grids on both sides, the electrical grid and the gas grid. Yes. And they will never, ever, ever disconnect a property. Why? Because they've got a care of duty to supply everybody in this country through fairness with electric. Now, the only reason they'll ever disconnect you from the road is through a safety issue, because some energy companies put in a report and issued a riddle saying, oh, they've been doing this and it's all dodgy and there's fairy lights going everywhere. They've got cannabis factories. Whoa, it's glowing in space. We've seen it from the space station. And then they go, right, we're going to cut them off in the road. Well, if you say to the grid, what's going on here? What's going on here? Come round and check it for yourself. Then the grid will come out and check it. Independent. They're not interested in it. They can't handle the money. They get paid from central government to produce the gas and put the electric into your meters. It's only these billion companies, these credit brokers. That's what energy companies are. Bulb, British Gas, Octopus. They're energy companies, but they're credit brokers. They don't supply you with anything. The grid does. So get the grid to come in and check you for safety, and they're never, ever, ever going to disconnect you. Now, in the 1986 Gas Act and in the 1989 Electricity Act, it says that you can put your own meter in provided it is safe. Now, safe means, it doesn't mean a piece of paper. If a gas meter is safe, it means it's sound, it's working properly, all the little dials are flying around and you're getting a constant flow of gas through it without any escape. That's what safe means. Same with an electrical meter. Not much to go really wrong with an electrical meter because they're quite robustly built, like ladies with their boobies. They're very robustly built. So there's not much to go wrong with them. So safety-wise, it's not about having a piece of paper that says, my meter's fabulous, it's so safe. No, it's about letting someone in that's got an issue and says, well, you know, you might be setting a street alight. Well, let's quell that flame. Let's put that out and you can come in and inspect it, but not your credit broker energy company. Once the National Grid's been in and checked your property and said, no, it's all safe here, no problems, then you're never, ever, ever disconnected. Never. I'm choosing my words now. I'm chewing on my words a little bit, but I want to get so much out. That's the trouble. I'm like, Jordan, let it out, let it out. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at with all of that. So these energy companies, look, can you imagine if you've got some friends and family, maybe you've got an auntie that's a little bit on the porky side and she's got oxygen machines and a medication to make her vagina that little bit smaller in the fridge, keeping it at a nice temperature. And all of a sudden she's been paying her smart bill, a lovely smart meter that she's been so enamored by Albert Einstein on the TV when he's bending over at 45 degrees and then big wind turbines are flying around. Oh, your grid work is it's so antiquated and so ancient. You need to go smart technology. Well, smart, yeah, fabulous. Until they turn you off. Then it's not so fabulous. And then your auntie who sat there in a naivety who just literally hasn't got nothing in the bank anymore. And her little credit card's going, not today, auntie. All of a sudden, her power goes off, her oxygen machine goes off, her fridge freezer goes off, her medication starts going out of date and starts bubbling. What happens then? That's not a care of duty. That's not a decent people we're living in. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is all coming about from these rampant energy companies. Now, I went to one of my neighbours over the road the other week, and I'm just wondering how many people are like this in this country. Now, many, many years ago when solar first hit the shores of this country, the government came up with a thing called FIT, feed-in tariff. Now, the feed-in tariff was giving you X amount of shekels per kilowatt that you produced, and they would send you a big fat check back in the post, which is some other peasants paying it because they never pay it themselves. It's always robbing Peter to pay Paul. This is how we go with Peter and Paul, isn't it? So anyway, my neighbour seen me yesterday from next door, and he's had a 4 kilowatt solar system on his roof since 2014. So it's almost 10 something, so 8, 9, whatever it is. But anyway, these panels in the last 6 months, because we had this heat wave and all the ladies were going topless in the 40 degrees, he's just copped a check for 6 months for 1,800 quid, right? 1,800 quid. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, these solar systems really do produce some power. That's a lot of kilowatts to get 1,800 quid, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, my Polish friends who live opposite me, back in the summer, they had a 3 kilowatt solar system put in, but because the feed-in tariffs have all stopped, everything that they produce through their solar goes into their house, and if their appliances are calling for it, it will use that power. If it doesn't, it returns to the grid. So they're giving the grid all that power. Now, they're only 1 kilowatt less than my neighbour who just got a check back for 1,800 quid. So all of that power that they're producing, that they're not using in that house in that summer on that day. Remember, house don't use as much in the summer because you haven't got all the heavy ovens on, you haven't got all the heating on because it's summertime. Well, these energy companies are getting that for free. It's coming in through your meter and they're billing it for you. And it wasn't even theirs in the first place. Now, this is my neighbours over the road. Now, how many other families in this country are having solar systems fitted today and in the future that is gonna be chucking loads of power back into the grid from their producing because they're not using it? And these energy, so in essence, what I'm trying to say is our energy bills should be ever so much lower because of that. People are really taking a massive initiative now with solar through grid-tied solar systems. But if they're chucking back all this power into the system, then what's going on? Why is the energy companies, their prices going up? Now, do you understand what I'm saying? This is why I should have been a detective, because I think about these kind of things. So we are being hammered. We really, really are. And just for your information, ladies and gentlemen, if you ring up the national grid, whether it be gas or electricity, and ask them, how much do you get from energy companies? They say 2%. So 2% of your energy bills, your gas and electric. Now, I've been out working this week, ladies and gentlemen, and I've been to a couple in Bearsted in Maidstone, Kent. Now, they're so posh in Bearsted, they actually get out of the bath to take a piss. That's how posh they are. And this couple are in their 80s. Lovely couple. Been going to them for years. I've been going to them for years, and we have a cup of tea, we have a slice of cake, and they're sitting there. She's got a little thingy over her legs, trying to keep herself warm. And I thought, the house is a bit chilly. She said, you know what, David? She said, our bills last year were £80 a month for gas and electricity. They're £270 at the minute, and they could be going up to £400. And I'm like, well, you've got to stop it then. You've got to do something about it. Well, you can't just keep doing this. The energy company, they're all laughing at you. They're absolutely all laughing at us. And it's a big topic. It's a big subject right now. And who's regulating these people? Who's stopping them coming in your front door? They're going to cause very big civil unrest if they're not careful. And I have a funny feeling that some of these directors are going to find themselves in proper trouble. I really, really do. FIT was replaced by SEG. You still get paid. Okay. But the one that my mates had put in over the road, their solar comes in. I've seen the way it's wired up. It goes into their meter board. It don't go through the electric meter. So how that's going to log up on their thing, I don't know. And they haven't got a secondary meter in there anyway. But here's what it is. That's right. I think it's through Octopus, isn't it? You get the SEG. It is what it is. But yeah. So anyway, right. Let's move on to this court case. I'm not going to share this screen with you for a second because I don't want to reveal any identity of who this is, and that's just how it is. So I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to give you this transcript that's just happened in the last few days where the CPS and the judge dismissed the case, which is absolutely fabulous. This is the transcript from the court. Usher says, Mr. Whatever. Our individual says, I'm not Mr. Whatever. I'm not Mr. Let's say Mr. X. I am not a Mr. My name is whatever. Enters the court on the third occasion. Usher says, do you want to stand here? The individual says, I will sit where I see fit and when I'm ready to sit. Good morning, everyone. Judge says, Mr. X, can you just... And he says, I'm not Mr. X. And the judge says, you are Mr. X. And this individual says, Mr. X is a corporation. It's a surname. I'm the beneficiary and the settler for that said corporation. The judge says, well, your worship worships Mr. X is not in attendance. And our individual says, Mr. X is here. He is right here. The judge says, we need an address then. Mr. X is right here. Takes the birth certificate out of the pocket, holding it up. That's the corporation, Mr. X, that was created without my permission at birth. I'm the beneficiary and I'm the settler. My name is XXXXX. I am the living man. Fact, speaking in plain English, can I have the name of the woman acting as judge and the name of the clerk, please? Then the court staff say, we need to be satisfied that there is an individual by the name of XXX in the courtroom, and there is not. Our man says, I am XXX of the house of XXX. I am the living man, living fact, and I am the beneficiary of Mr. X. I am the third party representative for Mr. X. The judge says, because we have an address for XXX, but I do not know whether the gentleman has an address or date of birth for the court. Our man says, the birth of the name, are you on about? The judge says, yes. And our man says, the birth of the name, the birth of this corporation is X on the X or the X. The judge says, okay. And is there address for the corporation? Mr. X says, yes. Our man says, yes, XXX, but that's not me. I'm the third party representative for. The judge says, okay. Our man says, sorry, can I ask who's in court today? And the judge says, I do know if that particularity is going to be relevant today, Your Worship, because I know of an application for this entire case to be adjourned at this stage for the prosecution service. So we can't see that going any further, and this has happened in a Crown Court this week, in the same court in Manchester. That Alex Belfield has been sent to prison. Obviously, Alex Belfield, very good man, but obviously don't know who he is. Sadly, Mia, media mogul, lovely to see you, Mia. Thanks for tuning in. British Gas do drill locks out, change electric meters to prepay, charge £11 max payback, all done. When not owned, promise to pay. See, this is disgusting. To change meter back, and then they don't give no names to the private. That is just, who are these people? Try crowdfunding it. But do you understand what I'm saying? Whoever give these companies the right. See, when they go to court, they're abusing the system, because they wave these things about and they say, oh, there's a safety issue, there's a safety issue, there's a safety issue. Now, don't get me wrong. If there is a genuine safety issue, I was a gas engineer, been a gas engineer 35 years. If there is a big leak and say you're away, I mean, we had a house in Medway Towns years ago that the couple was away abroad over Christmas, and this house, when they come back, was just at the concrete oversight. It blew it sky high, and these emergency services were just too late to get a court order to get in and disconnect the gas, which rightly they should have done, but they were too late and the house went up. So there are instances where, yes, if there is an escape of gas and it's bad, or an electrical issue, there needs to be a disconnection for sure. There really, really does. And access does need to be made, but it's been abused because the energy companies go under a safety issue. That's all they do when they go to apply to the courts. They don't tell them it's a monetary issue. They say it's a safety issue, and that's that. And they're animals because they're lying and they're deceiving. And that's not good, ladies and gentlemen. It's really, really, really not very good at all. You can buy anti-bump, anti-drill locks on eBay as well, by the way. We've got family members that have now fitted these things. So the minute that they start drilling the locks all crumble, and it's just, I don't think anyone can do anything with it, but you won't open the door. We know these matters are civil, you see. All these things, they're not criminal, but they turn criminal when these people turn up and kick your door in and change these meters against your consent, because you absolutely have the right to fit your own meter. And I'm going to give you the proof of that in a second if I can find it again. But under the 86 Gas Act and the 89 Electricity Act, you have the absolute right. It's enshrined in their law that you can fit your own meters. So make of that what you will. Some other very interesting information I want to bring to you tonight as well is this woman. Okay, this is Stacey Wilkinson. Okay, she's fabulous. I mean, proper fabulous. You're going to see here, she's got a Telegram group. Okay, and the Telegram group, which I'm on right now, is called Stacey. Let me show you, so you can take all this down. Take all this information down, guys, because or you can always freeze this. I don't know if you can see that. It's called Stacey's World's Rocks Cafe. I do believe it's called Cafe on the end of it. And on here, all the information with regards to what I'm showing you here is going to be put out there. So you can see, biggest refund we've ever had takes us to 1,489,700. Oh no, 1 billion maybe. 1,408,708. All right, hang on. 1,489,708 quid 84p in refunds. My God, I'm getting old. That refunds on council tax, energy, water, TV license. Josh, who had 121 with us just over a month ago, has just got £77,000 on VAT payments, which is insane. Josh wanted some tailored advice in this instant, but all the info and learning material can be found on Telegram, which I update most daily for free, unless you're an entitled narc, in which case you cannot be asked to read the content and moan about having to pay for my time and energy. So this is a pinned message in this group, Stacey's World's Rocks chat. So maybe take a screenshot of that and go and join it yourself. Be very good thing for you to do today. There's 2,861 members, and there's normally about 200 online at any one time. And here we go. So just got £77,000 back on VAT. Josh is saying, thank you so much, Stacey. This is awesome. Would send a screenshot if I could, but I'm not allowed. So yeah, Stacey Wilkinson, you are rocking it out of the park. She's a West Country lass. That's a big, massive for the West Country, and that. Yes, I can do a bit of Bristolian. You know, I really can. So yeah, so she's fabulous, and so's the Telegram group. I'm already in it. I've been in it for a long time. She's got some links here to Etsy. She's got TME, Stacey Watt World, and that's her YouTube channel. And Stacey's World Rock. But you can find her profile on Facebook. You can come and join the group, and then you can start yourself bringing it to all these corporations and take back control. And see, the thing is, when we do this, we're sending them a very clear message, that we're now wakey and we're taking back control. And it's got to be done. Has Lisa got her own meter? We're not wishing to get her into any trouble in case the old MFI are watching tonight. You got to watch them MFI. They might come around and use some anal beads on me. Them naughty, pesky government people. Yes, I don't know whether she has or she hasn't. It's the true answer to that. And I wouldn't want to blow her out of the water and put some disinfo out and get into trouble. But whatever she's doing, it seems to be working, and she's doing well. So Lisa T. Roof, fair play. And Laura Nina as well, guys. I don't know if you've seen Laura Nina. She's up to game in the last few months, big time, and she's doing some really quality interviews. And it's fabulous. Social media is taking over. And as of course last week, I brought you information on the stand in the parks and how they've been going for a few years now. But I never ever had any idea that they were supported in ways that they do, and the plethora of people from all different walks of life, the people that actually work in institutions, that they're so incensed that they're now all coming together and saying, yes, no more, we don't want it anymore. Okay, so yeah, it is the way forward. It is the way forward. Now, I've been studying, I've been learning all about Dominion. and how to attack it from that angle, because whether you do or whether you don't understand, your dominion interest is your God-given right, and the birth certificate is actually confirmation that you do have that dominion interest. That's exactly what that is. That's a dominion interest, and as it's already settled and established in law, it can't be argued or questioned. Yeah, you can't get a judge argue and question that. Not a chance. Nope, nope, nope. And it's what all property and everything you buy all goes through. You don't know whether you realise it. Every car you buy, every house you buy, everything that you do goes through that instrument. And whether you like it or not, there is that little trust there. Many of us are trying to access it and do certain things, but it is 100% there. Be there because there has to be a trust, because your dominion interest was placed into the monarch. And bearing in mind, you all think you've got a king right now. You haven't got a king. You've only got a king that's made a proclamation, which is something to yell out. It's to speak out. He's not been coronated yet. He's not sat and gone through all that pomp and bullshit. And until such time, he is not king, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to put that one on you. You enter the kingdom of England via the wide gates and Broadway. Everyone enters unchecked. Yeah, you come in through the dockyard, ladies and gentlemen. You come in through the high seas, the holy sea of commerce. That's what we do. We are the grand tours of our dominion, says Dean Hampshire. Yes, we are. But what we have to do is correct that status and standing and you can only go really through the Attorney General for that, and require your dominion interest be restored. And once you do get to that point, then any trust has to collapse, because if you have your true dominion status, there is and can be no trust, not a chance. May 2023, is that are we talking treasonous May, the ex-prime minister, the beautiful photogenic woman that we see on the screens quite a few years ago, Theresa May, that said, no, you don't understand policing in England. In policing in England, we're policed by consent. Yes, we are policed by consent. You know, they love rolling us around in the back of their vans with our chins, and they love laughing at us. Big shout out also to Auditing Britain. Whether you've seen Auditing Britain on YouTube, AB, as we've come to love and know him, is he's up to his game as well. He's doing some fabulous stuff. And we've got Kent Auditors now. There's a gentleman going around on YouTube, Kent Auditors. He's absolutely fabulous. And what I do like about all what's going on at the moment with all the truth seekers and the truth speakers is they've put a different spin on how they're giving it out. They're not so militant anymore with their little Wolfie Smith hats on. Power to the people. It's more of a giggle now. They're doing it for a laugh and trying to educate people through laughter and getting their chuckle muscles going. And I think that's fabulous that most people are now just chilling out, relaxing, and recording all these knob jockeys in uniform. And I say that I genuinely think that we have entered a Stasi, and it's not the way of this nation, and I'm not sure it will be tolerated for too much longer, because I think people now have pretty much had enough. And we've all been led to believe that all these things we take part in for our own safety are fabulous, but not so. It's never been about our safety. And I want to bring about, whether we can achieve it, is to bring back goodness, fairness, compassion, wisdom, great stuff, where our roads are fabulous, our schools are fabulous, our kids are taught proper fabulously, and we can go out and become proper creators again and get rid of all this bullshit dark system that just wants to keep us down and keep us in the doldrums. Now, if Stacey's World Channel is going, and she's now claimed back, many people have claimed £1.5 million back in whatever with these corporations. In essence, there is a drop in the ocean for these big, massive corporations, but nonetheless, it's victory. And for every day that clock rolls up, that value of that goes up, that's a win for the people. And I'm a firm believer in people. I don't believe in corporations and all that. I am for the people. When people can't be people and they have to keep bowing down to these, look, who owns the DVLA? What man or woman is standing up and claiming to be the DVLA? DVLA is just a building. The Crown Courts, they're just men and women running around, but for the Crown Court, it's just a building. They're just buildings. They're just corporations, guys, and they're taking the royal piss with us. It's nothing about law. It's nothing about safety. It's not about keeping us safe. When them speed cameras are, oh, we're out on the speed road. Yes, we are. We're keeping you safe. No, you fucking ain't. You're lying to us. You're just using us as energy. You're using our bank accounts as energy. I think 2023 is really going to be a year of great enlightenment and great change. And I'm hoping to be part of that festivity. I'm hoping to be part of that embracing of the new and departing of the old. I think I see it. I do believe at the age of 55, I do get to see them times. I honestly, genuinely believe that I'm going to witness the birth pains and the new world, the decency, the love, the honour, the respect, all maybe starting to come back. And it's coming back in abundance now. We've got too many people on the turn, the worm has firmly turned. When we've got deputy headmasters of very posh schools in Kent talking, and he's very awake, and his wife's very awake, and we've got ex-police men and women that are joining us now, and they're all very awake and fed up of the corruption. Then we have a fighting chance. Let me tell you, we really do. Jesus, they won't call it to a digital currency. Yes, a friend of mine, I spoke to you earlier, just a minute ago at the beginning of this show. My friend's daughter has gone to this hotel for, I think it was her birthday, with a gorgeous, handsome boyfriend, and they wouldn't accept her cash. and I don't know where this is going to end, ladies and gentlemen. They're certainly wanting to end cash in many ways, and that's going to be a battle in itself, because when your card gets turned off and you can't get your eggs and bacon, and you can't top up your card to put gas on your meter, because let's just give you an example. Let me give you an example. If all that you have in your life is a plastic credit card, you might be swinging through your life fabulously. You might be paying your council taxes, your wages are going in, you're having all this lovely time. But then all of a sudden something happens. I don't know, you might go 36 in a 30, and you're getting all these letters in the post. You owe us 400 odd quid. Yes, no. And you think all of a sudden, instead of you just keep paying these things, you might sit down one day and grow a pair of balls and think, oh, fucking hell, man, these are just men and women. Who and what am I paying? Well, the minute that you do that, the bank's going to go, I'm going to turn that card off, because they've been given by the courts, the HMRC, all these other bullshit agencies. He's not playing the game. He's not part of it. They've trialed this in China, guys, and this is happening in China. Social credit scoring. There was an instance about 6 years ago where they've gone pretty much cashless, I do believe, China. And this individual in China was on his way home and jaywalked. And they flash your face up on the big screens to humiliate you in public, and everyone else turns around and tuts at you and calls you a wanker. Well, them individuals have gone into a shop on their way home to get their evening groceries, cook their food, and their card's been declined. Why? Because the computer turned them off, because they were allowed to buy it, because they'd done something deemed irresponsible to society. So be careful, guys. Be careful. Keep cash going as long as you can. And if you go into a shop and you get incensed at the fact that they're not taking cash anymore, well, maybe cause some mayhem in a nice way. Maybe fill up your trolley with shopping. Maybe go to the checkout, load it all up, pass it all through, put it in the bags. And when they don't take cash, that's a shame. And just walk out the shop and leave them to put it all back. I mean, Lord knows you have to audit for these supermarkets now through these self-checkouts, and they're always there watching you. They're auditing you, making sure that you're not getting an extra banana and you're paying for all 5, you dirty bastards, instead of trying to pay for 4. They're auditing you for auditing. They're auditing you. Yes, they are, for doing their fucking job, right? Check out girls, check out boys, even the beautiful the gay guys on the supermarkets, when they pass you shopping through, they're so full of life and full of it. I love them. I do. I have a right old time with them. Let me tell you, I have some we crack some jokes and everything. But that's what you're keeping employed. You're keeping people employed around themselves. Why are you self-auditing? We do it. I know we do. And we all do it. We moan about it, we bitch about it, but we all go through the self-checkout. But maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we should keep people employed in Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Lidl and Aldi. I mean, you've got to go through Aldi and Lidl quite quickly because they speed people down there. You know, you put it on the conveyor belt, it's gone straight through and it's out the window the other side. You've got to try and catch it on the way out. Yes, you won't have cards. They're going anyways. Well, you know, we're looking a little bit rocky road, darling, aren't we? And with regards to benefits as well, you know, we're making some valid points here tonight. Media Mogul. If you dispute council tax asking for proof of their claim, they do attachments of earnings and benefits. So how do we stop this? As leaves you with less than the government say the minimum to live on. Yeah, well, benefits are unalienable. The Secretary of State requests and requires that benefits are unalienable. Benefits you can't deduct from benefit. This is communism. Look, guys, I'm sorry, right? I know we got a fabulous country. And we got a lot of fabulous people in it. And I'm always having a dig, but we have some fabulous people. And we have some fabulous things. We have some very technically advanced things. We really, really do. The sad part about all this is we've let some really dark people deceive us. And they seem to want to own it all. The police seem to think they own the roads when they pull you over and you go, oh, you ain't got this. Is your vehicle roadworthy? Fuck me, constable, you seen the roads. Yeah, not being funny, mate, but you might want to have a little trip down that road. I just hit a pothole back there. I mean, wheel cap fucking come off and it hit that bird straight between the eyes. She's laid out on her. Yeah, but you're worried about my vehicle being roadworthy. Sort your fucking life out. Get the councils to fill the potholes in. Yeah? So this is where it all goes wrong for me. It's all about your safety. It ain't. Because if it was, you'd have perfect roads. Your roads would be smooth as silk. You'd be flying down here. You'd be like hovering down there in your four wheels on your motors. You wouldn't even feel like going over a fly. You just wouldn't. So all this, it's for your own good. It's for your own good. It's for your safety. Well, look around, guys. You're clearly going to see it's not for your safety. Like I say, police on the side of the road booking you in for your speeding. It's all for your safety, sir. No, it ain't, mate. You're just raping me. And these are the old cold hard truths I give. But most people go, oh, no, you need these things in society. You know, you do. Yes, no, I'm quite happy taking my gruel, taking my punishment. Yes, I've been naughty. I've got to sit on the naughty step, Zippy. Yes, I have. Fuck that shit. All men are created equal, ladies and gentlemen. No one can own another. No, not a chance. So these are truths and realities we give to people. People seem to think I keep saying to people, you think you're free? Do you genuinely think you're free? You get in your car, you go down the road, I'm having a lovely time. Till they take your license away, you can't use the roads no more. So you don't pay tax on your car, can't pay tax on your car, can't use the roads anymore, can't pay the insurance, you can't use the roads no more. Got MOT? No, you can't use the roads no more. Sounds a fair society, this one. Sounds fabulous. We all agree to it, don't we? But do we agree to it? That's the thing. You've got these people called legislators that make all this bullshit up. And we're all supposed to go along for the ride, man. It's supposed to be some sort of gig and party. And when you challenge them on the law, do they abide by it? No, they don't. They bend it. Why? Because they got policemen and women that have got IQs of parrots that are prepared to come and beat the fucking living shit out of you. If you don't do what they say. But they don't know the law. We've had two German policemen, man and woman, in Scotland, go out to a man who apparently was flying a drone and someone reported him. Yes, naughty people. And they stood on his doorstep and he's asking them about points of law. And these two police are on their iPhones, Googling. Yes, well, it says here and such. And he's like, but I thought you was the law. I thought you knew the law. Why'd you have to? And this cop was going to him, well, you can Google it and find out yourself. He said, I'm not being funny, mate. You've come to harass me and harass me. He said, and arrest me. But I'm not going on to Google and helping you find the fucking law if you don't know it. And the cop could see in his face going, yeah, you got a fair point there. Fair point. So listen, guys, the old Bill don't know the law. They might be able to regurgitate parrot fashion, section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of PACE. They might be able to do that. But when it comes to law, mate, they ain't got a Scooby. They're just I just had a beautiful text come here from Stevie Long. He said, just listening to you on your YouTube channel. He said, you're as funny as ever. I do these things, ladies and gentlemen, because I care. Yes, I really do. Let's have a look. Stevie Long, his name is beautiful, beautiful man. Just listening to you on YouTube live, you're naturally and funny with it. Keep me up. Sorry to bother you again. Have you got a link to limited company ID cards? What is your opinion about? Well, yes, I can. I can show you. Let me just find this. Oh, bless him, not old Shaney boy. There's a lovely boy. He is. Let's. Here we go. Oh, Hornsey Wood. Right. So if you want to find out about your ID cards, there's Stevie Long. Look, bless his little heart. Hopefully you can still see my screen. You can see my, yeah, you can see my screen. Hang on, Steve. I've just got to put you on low down. So here we go. Hornsey Wood Academy even. It's just taking its time to load up. So if you go here, young man, you can join the WhatsApp group. You can message Hornsey Wood, my gorgeous mate, and very doing some fabulous work out there. Hornsey Wood, as always, really keeping it real and bringing some fabulous information to the table. And God bless him, God bless his family, and God bless everyone that's doing all this stuff. Here he's talking about the BNF 01, which we all think we can't get hold of. The birth notification form 01 success. So obviously in Truth Talks 172, someone's had success and got hold of their birth card. So the BNF 01. So Hornsey Wood Academy, guys and girls, there you go. If you want to go and get some good old truth over there. Limited companies, many of us have expressed our names in limited companies. I've done it myself, and some people also trademarking their name. And when their name is used, they warn whoever it is of the licensing fee, and they never hear from them again. So we are learning to play this game. We're very much learning now to swiftly deal with bailiffs and courts and police. Why? Because we've got no choice. We're being pushed into this situation through necessity. Because through necessity, that's when things change. When things get tough for people, that's when they start looking. That's when they start making tough decisions, you know. Am I going to stay warm, or am I going to feed these big fat bastard corporations that actually don't care? Where is it you're ever going to get someone from an energy company asking you what's going on in your life? Why can't you pay? Well, I can't pay because I'm feeding kids. I'm breastfeeding. My mother's got cancer, and they don't. But they don't. They're just when you're paying, not can you pay. How are you going to pay? What's going on in your life? They couldn't care less. They're cold cucumbers. Directors of energy companies and directors per se in these big corporations cannot have any empathy, cannot have any compassion, can't have any feeling, because I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if they did, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. As I've said before, I've had a business for a long time, and I've always been fair with people. There's always been a meeting of the minds. I've always give people's options, and then they make a decision on that option and say, yeah, we're going to have it, or no, we're not. And if they say no or don't get back to me, I never ever bother people, because I can't force my will on them, and nor would I wish to. So that's the life I've led, because that's a decent life. That is an absolute decent life. So when these energy companies come in and you go to them with your little issues of whatever it is, and they just ignore you and try and swat you like a piece of shit off a windscreen, as Laura Nina said the other day, the dog turd on the road's got more rights than you, and they seem to have more respect for that than they do for you and your lives and your spirit. It's absolutely disgusting. We have descended into and that's the difference. You see, us, the people, we care. We care. I care about you. You'd probably care about me when you see me on this screen, and you probably have a heartfelt consideration for me. But you're not going to get that out of any courts. You're not going to get that out of any court clerk, any usher, any judge, any magistrate. No, why? Because they're self-serving. Their heads are up their own asses, and they're cold. They're cold cucumbers. They don't care. They have no feeling. They have no compassion. They have no niceties. They have no love in their life. They're cold, empty vessels. And that's how I see them. I don't see them as decent people, because if they were decent people doing decent things, they wouldn't be bringing the fucking misery. When you go to them with a grievance, they would leave you the fuck alone. Yeah, no, I'm up for a country where the people are ignorant. I'm up for them if they want to just carry on paying their energy bills and their car tax and all these other bits. If that's the way they want to live, fine. Absolutely fine. Provided that they're happy with that relationship. Provided that they're cool with that relationship and they're not giving it too much consideration. But the minute that it does start bothering them and it starts perturbing their spirit and that, they have the absolute right to say, you lot can go and fuck yourself. And that's the point many of us are getting to. We really, really are. A friend of mine the other week was being accosted by a bailiff for a Virgin Media issue for 300 odd quid. And my friend told him over the telephone, he phoned his bailiff up and he said to him, listen, brother, I'm a righteous man. He said, I believe in God Almighty. He said, and I'm telling you now, if you come to my house for this thing where you want to get money and give it to a guy that's got a paedophile island where he fucks kids, one of us is going to die today. He said, and I'm prepared to die today. He said, either I'm going to die or you're going to die. He said, I've had a good life. I'm a bit crippled up. He said, I'm going to smash the fucking granny out of you. And this bailiff went, oh, I said, I won't bother coming out. I'll just pass it back. That's righteous justice, you see. That's us standing up for ourselves. That's us drawing a line in the sand. That's us saying, we ain't going to put up with this shit no more. Look, guys, bless your heart. We are, to be where we're at, we've had to have been a very tolerant and compassionate people to allow these judges, to allow these corporations, to these police to fuck us up the arse like they've been doing. We've got to have been really compassionate and have so much love in our heart. But we're coming to the end of that rocky road now. We're starting to say, fuck that shit. We've had enough. Excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen. Gas and electricity is free for the people. Heaven on earth says came on. Yes. I'm trying to find the post with regards to the Gas Act and the Electric Act, because this was from some. I'll sort you out in a minute, Al. Actually, let's just knock him on there. He's in. I can't find it. Maybe I'll start off with next week's show with it. But the photo is that enshrined in the Gas Act of 1986 and the Electricity Act of 1989, you can fit your own meters, and the only requirement is that it's safe. Now, whenever you get an energy company come around, say for instance you fitted your own meters or done whatever because you're desperate, you can't keep up with these credit brokers, these energy companies, and you want to get your life back in order. They're always coming on a safety issue, and they want a piece of paper. They want to know who's fitted. Well, just ring National Grid, and say, can you come and just check this for safety? Because safety isn't about a piece of paper. Safety is about something that's tangible. Safety is about a meter of every description and whether it's safe, whether the terminals are done up tight. It's not about a piece of paper to prove that it's safe. It's about looking at the tangible thing and saying, yes, it's safe, it's not leaking, and just having that proof of an individual just doing a little test on a gas meter. Yes, it's all saying it's all safe, job done. Yeah, but they don't. They come in, oh, it's a safety issue. Well, prove that there's a safety issue. Prove it. You just got to take their word for it. Oh, it's got dodgy this, that. No, they're skimming off you. That's what these energy companies are. They've got these thing there called revenue collections. Yeah, revenue protection. That's all these energy companies are. They're credit brokers. That's all they are. And they don't even own the meters. I'm hot on the energy at the moment because they are putting a lot of people through the ringer, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, by word, that first hour has just gone like lightning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and I've not had to have a toilet stop yet either. I know, I'm so old. It's unbelievable. It's not safe for them to enter my property. No, Cayman Sea. We've got to start standing up, mate. We're such a rollover nation. My goodness, we are easy. Look at the French. Look how the French turn out when they get aggrieved. Oh, they get out, don't they? They get all their all shit out. It goes up the fucking buildings. They shut the roads off. And the system bows down to them. I mean, a few years ago, the French were out with concrete blocks and sand and cement and blocking up government buildings, building walls in front of them so they couldn't get in and out. The French don't fuck about, ladies and gentlemen. The French, the Gilets jaunes as well, the Gilets jaunes out in France, they've taken some beatings, but they're still gorgeous, gorgeous people. Now, a couple of years ago, the Gilets jaunes, the gendarmeries or whatever the police are called in France, apparently they caught 2 individuals that were supposed to be out of an area, all this COVID-19 lockdown bullshit, and it is bullshit, guys. I'm sorry, but it has turned out we're all seeing all the truth coming out now. The COVID 2 years has been a pile of fucking bullshit, and many of you are seeing it. You're all seeing it now. But anyway, these 2 individuals were being accosted by the police. These 2 police were beating these 2 individuals just as these about 4,000 of the Gilets jaunes were coming around the corner. Anyway, needless to say, the police ended up hanging upside down, tied up over 2 trees, and justice was served. And that's people power. The police only get away with what they're doing, guys, because none of us come together anymore. We let them ride roughshod over us. Years ago, people wouldn't tolerate it. In communities, in your local areas, if they were being incensed by injustice, people would come together. You'd have people in your local area that were good at communicating that would say, hang on a minute, we've got a bit of a problem here. And they'd get everyone together. And they would stand in defiance against the system. And the system would jump back in its vans and fuck off. We've lost that, sadly. But maybe there will be a renaissance. I do hope there will be. Got stuck in an engine bay. Pull my back trying to get... out upside down. Cockney Patriot, God bless you, mate. Nice to see you. To see you nice. It really is. Yes, that first hour has gone so quick. David Swift, what if I buy a tent and charge circa £1 for the dinghy divers to use them? By the way, I'm tempted to go out, maybe later on this week and take some David Dickinson suntan with me and some torn up old clothes and some dodgy wristwatches that you get from the looky man on the beach when you go to Benidorm. You've all bought one, don't fucking lie. You have. I know you have. And then come back into the country with a little petrol can and say, I seek asylum, and find myself in a nice holiday inn, and maybe one of them little curved sausages in the morning. You remember them sausage rings you used to get in the Wimpy's years ago? Maybe they're serving them up in the holiday inns. Who fucking knows? And this guy, this auditor, he's been down the coast today, I think somewhere in Kent, in a holiday inn. And these kids are out in the car park where there's no cars because holiday inn's fully booked by dinghy divers. And these kids have got push bikes. Now, we're saying to ourselves, I wonder whether them bikes is stolen, And not only that, if I reported, I guarantee, right, this is the Keystone Cops for you, right, the flatfoots of Kent Police. Hello, my bike's been stolen. It's one of them switchbacks. What kind is it? Is it the penny farthing? Well, yes, it's one of the penny farthing ones. We'll go out and have a look. The first place I'll be going is there. Not because I'm racist, because I'm a realist. I'll be thinking, well, they've just come into the country. They got fuck all. They're going to be out stealing. And there's kids riding around on push bikes. And this auditor's going, I wonder where they got them from. And I'm thinking, the police won't even go there to look for the bike. Because, we can't be racist, We've got these rainbows on our fucking cars. Yes, we have. Yes, follow the rainbow. Follow the rainbow. Fucking Dorothy followed the fucking rainbow. My goodness. Yeah, but the police won't go there. They won't go, no, we can't go there, No, you've got to wonder what these people have gone through. Let them have the fucking bike that they've just nicked from your granddaughter or your son. It's absolute fucking bollocks, mate. It really is. But it is what it is. People of this country, oh, no, you've got to wonder where they come from. All these do-gooders. Oh, yes. The Archbishop of Canterbury. Oh, it's so fucking wonderful, isn't it? Oh, it's so inclusive. Oh, happy. Oh, my goodness me. Christians, they're not Christians, are they? Let's be honest. Show me where the Christianity is in the Archbishop of Canterbury. Anyway, we've got 7 minutes left. If you're late to the show, I'm just going to show you some cheap, reliable heating sources, ladies and gentlemen. So we did this earlier on in tonight's show. This is your diesel heaters. These ones are from China. They're pretty much based on the Webasto's, the German ones, which are about 1,400 quid. But they're quite reliable. There's provided they're installed properly, you're not really going to get too many troubles with them. And run them on red diesel or kerosene, which you can get for about £1 a litre, and you'll probably run them for about 8 to 10 pence an hour. And do the math, and you're going to find out that it's going to be far more economical than natural gas at the cost of that at the moment. So if you are cold and you're worried about your heating bills and having to worry about this and that, but obviously the dinghy divers are getting everything for free right now. The energy companies are just slipping cards into their meters and saying, help yourself, have what you like, set the place alight. But these things are good, and in fact they're that good. I've just ordered a second one this week to keep my house nice and toasty, and my office as well. I tell you one thing, you don't want them turfed onto the streets from the hotels. Well, I don't know, Dave, because if they are turfed out the hotels onto the streets, at least the people of this great country are going to fucking see what's going on, right? See, this is the thing. It's all hush, hush, Wizard of Oz. Hide it from everybody. Hide it. And this is why they get a bit spooked out when you go down to these places, start recording. You see, get that old camera out. Camera scares the shit out of them because they're thinking, fuck, our gig's being highlighted. Do you see? It's a Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse. And I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, our army and our police will never, ever be able to contain if it goes. And if these people decide to go warring, yeah, then that's a problem. Now, before I do disappear, the law in this country was introduced to stop us doing exactly that, to stop us warring. It was to stop us taking chunks out of each other when we got aggrieved. But now we've got all these companies just ignoring us, kicking our doors in. They're enticing us into these feelings of, well, maybe the warring thing weren't too bad because these wankers are using force against us with the police. Let's be honest. They're using their cuffs, their mace spray, their anal beads to help these energy companies rape your pocket and fucking asset strip you. And it won't be long. I've said this time and time again. It will not be long before a copper's killed or a bailiff's killed. And I'm not trying to incite that in any way. I hate the thought of death. I hate the thought of violence. I'm just giving you God's honest truth. People are going to become so desperate. These bailiffs are really going to start feeling the fucking heat, and the police are going to start feeling it as well. I'll guarantee you, you can feel it boiling up now, especially after Bob White's court case, where Kent police were down as unlawful trespassers and they had no right to be there. That case has spread around the country, and people are now challenging bailiffs and telling them to get the fuck off my property. I will have for you next week some words that you can print on a banner, stick it on your front gate, on your front door. And if anyone, this is going to be correct structure, correct grammar, where the word means exactly what it is. There's no other reference for the word, no other depiction of the word or terminology for the word. And if whoever keeps coming, then you're going to start taking their houses off of them and stuff like that, suing them. Personally, I was in Kenya in the election riots. I personally enjoyed it, so I'm not the full ticket. Swifty, you're the man, actually. You're a good man, Dave. No, you are. £20 save your life. £20 save your life. Everyone goes to the Emerald City. Yes, of course we do, Cayman. You ain't kidding me. Big time, we do. Howdy, Dave, and folks, says Charlie. But anyway, I'm going to start winding down now. We're on the last 7 minutes of the show. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. It's brought you some beautiful, beautiful information. I am now the Chinese diesel eater, just on my little slow down process for tonight's show. I've been talking very fast tonight. I don't know what reason, but it is what it is. I was due to go to stand in the park. They do it locally on a Thursday night in Cranbrook, which I am going to be getting out there too. But I've been busy today, and the weather's been atrocious and very, very windy. And I didn't fancy going down there in my Velomobile tonight. In all fairness, I'd rather be safe because we love keeping people safe in England. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, it's all about the safety. But what a fabulous, fabulous result that was in Manchester Crown Court in the last couple of days, where it's all been dismissed. It's all going to disappear now, because when you rock up as the beneficiary and the settler of that trust, because you're the living entity, Bob's your uncle. You will win, because you have to win, because it's your birthright. Dave, tell people to change Chinese diesel. It was silencers. They leak really bad. The silencer, on the back, that goes out the wall anyway. Dave, tell people to change Chinese diesel heater silencers. They leak bad. Upgraded silencer, 20 quid, saves their lives. The silencer's on the outside. It goes outside the wall, darling, doesn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, also these Chinese diesel heaters, make sure you run the exhaust outside. Don't keep it inside. You can all keep the air inlet indoors, and they work pretty well. Rather than taking it from outside air. Normally, Chinese diesel heaters, you have to run an exhaust out and a fresh air outlet and point them in opposite directions as they don't mix. But these things are little jet engines. For the amount of and the heat, the way they blow out is breathtaking. They are so warm and so quick to warm up as well. And don't forget, these things are 94% efficient. So for every little squirt of diesel or kerosene that's flowing into that combustion chamber, you're getting 94% bang out in heat, and they are pucker, as Cockney Patriot has just put up here. They're the nuts. They are. These Chinese diesel heaters are fabulous. If you add two and you run your house on two in different parts. So let's say in the afternoon you like sitting out the conservatory and all that, and you could whack that one over that. And even if you fired this thing up and you let it tick over for an hour and then turned it off for half hour or an hour and then just buzzed it back on when you started feeling chilly, you're going to find yourself that you're probably going to stretch a litre of diesel out over 10 hours. 10. Why not? They're cheaper than log burners to run. You can't run a log burner for that. And I've got log burners. Lord knows, I've had my fair share with the energy companies over the years. But I've emailed my energy company today, or not my energy company, this energy company that thinks it fucking owns me. And I've told them today, look, listen, I'm righteous. If you send anybody again to my house to do what you do, then there's going to be fucking trouble, because you people ain't listening. And if you're not prepared to listen to the law and you want to break the law and breach my peace, then you come here, I'm going to fucking break the law and I'm going to breach your fucking peace, because we're all entitled to the peace and we're all equal under the law. These corporations don't have the right to be doing what they're doing to us, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how I'm going to see this. That's how I see that. So I love people. I love fairness. I like decency. What are we playing at, man? Hot air blowing down from the ceiling. Oh, it's lovely. It is. They are very, very, very good, these Chinese diesel heaters. They're really, really good. Cockney Patriot, I can only imagine, has probably got one himself. But like I say, make sure you keep them on a battery and keep the battery charging, because if you have a power cut and you wire them from 240 to 12 volt for a transformer and the power goes off, then you could potentially have a little bit of a meltdown, because these things go through a warm-up process, a start process, and then when you turn them off, they go through a cooling down and a shutting down process, and they're fabulous. They really, really are. So up the Chinese. Yes, they are pretty good. It heats good, Jesus. Yes, it properly eats, and so cheap to run. Really, really are. And it's, look, this is how we think outside the box, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we're here to do, So share this with your friends, your families, your loved ones. Go and check out Stacey's world and Stacey's page. Rocking it out of the park, Stacey. And I've watched her quite a few times over the years. And I have to say, she's awesome. She's a very, very strong woman and a very strong soul. And we're seeing, I've said this for years, we're seeing the ladies really coming now. They're powerful beings. Noreen, are very powerful. Stacey, powerful. Lisa Ruth, so powerful. They're really the Boudikas of 2022. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be long. My next show is going to see you in December. No, it won't. It'll still be the end of probably just the end of the month, the next show. It might just be the 1st of December. I don't know. I'm not very good at counting. I do believe it could be the 31st of November, next Thursday. So next show, we're just starting to come into December now. So whether you're getting all your little Christmas baubles, remember, Christmas should be about spending time with your friends, your loved ones, and your families. And it ain't about the big presents. It's about just that vibration, just having a nice time, guys. You know, the corporate world will have you think otherwise, but the true value of that festive time is about spreading love, spreading joy, and just making people smile and just being with each other. And that's what that time period should really be about. He's just saying here that I've just fitted one in my boot, you know. And yeah, see, they're awesome, aren't they? Yeah, they're very, very awesome. I'll take your word for it, says Jesus Jones. Yes, now the country's going to run out of diesel and kerosene. Yes, because we're chucking in these Chinese diesel. But look, this is the point. We'll always find a way, guys. I've been a central heating engineer for 35 years. And I've got to be honest, I'm looking at it now thinking central heating probably ain't the greatest way with the technology that we've got out there now, because you've got to transfer that heat into the water. You lose 5% straight away before just in that energy transfer to getting it into the water. So I think air conditioning and these little Chinese diesel heaters are going to corner a big percentage of people's homes. They're so easy. You've got remote controls. You can start them up with a remote control. Say, for instance, you've got an outbuilding and you want to go in there, do a little workout, or, you know, work in your workshop or whatever. You've got that thing out there. You can just set your timer and press your thingy. Off it goes. And you walk in there 10 minutes later. It's roasting your tits off and you're having a nice time. Chinese imports, loads have moved in near me. Happy days. Anyway, guys and girls, it's 10:15. I've got to go out and do a few things tomorrow. I want to say thank you all for tuning in to the show tonight. Sorry that we missed Mikey tonight. He's on a wine tasting experiment in London and he's probably still there now. Probably going to be getting the last train home very, very soon. So, Michael, we miss you tonight, wherever you are, darling. I hope you watch this on playback. We miss you as always. Swifty, thanks for joining the show last week, mate. You're a hell of a dude. You really are. And to all of you in the chat room, I didn't go in the chat room tonight, did I? Oh, my God, I'm so bad. I'm so going to get told off. I really am. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm off. I want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in, ripping the knob off, and we're going to see you all next week. And yeah, take care. Love ya.
Microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make it a microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could have played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp. Make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic.